If you clicked on this video, that means you or someone you might know is interested in growing plants indoors and could be thinking of purchasing some grow lights. So today I'm here to give you the information that you might need to answer some of the questions that you might have, and as well as share our own experiences to make this process a lot easier for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is RICA from Artisan Gift Collection, and in this video we will be talking about grow lights. So if you're new to this channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, then please hit that subscribe button below, give us a like, and turn on the bell if you don't want to miss any of our content. Doing this will really help our channel, so thank you so much. So let's get to the video. So now, just a disclaimer, I'm not an expert on these things. I'm not a professional, but what I've done is I've researched and gathered some information and about grow lights, and then I've simplified them for you guys so that it's easier to understand because there's a lot of information out there, and I'm also adding some of our experiences on the grow lights that we do have. These are artificial lights that help plants grow, typically used indoors. They're meant to provide a light spectrum similar to that of the sun. My mom and I have done some research before purchasing grow lights, and upon doing so we realized how complicated and frustrating it can be because of the variety of grow lights available. There's so many different kinds with so many different specs, different types of lights for different types of plants. And there's also a lot of opinions and reviews that you may come across, and it's just going to make things harder for you. So of course, doing all this research is very good, and knowing all this information is very useful. But for the average plant parent just trying to provide a better environment for their plants, who probably won't have time to do all this research just like us, then we just need things to be simplified. There are many different kinds of grow lights out there on the market, but for this video, I'll only be discussing LED lights. One, because those are the types of lights that we bought, and two, they're proven to be more efficient than older light technology, more efficient with the power and electricity that they use. They also produce less heat, so we can put them closer to the plants with less risk of burning them or overheating the place. These are what LED lights look like. Now, when you're trying to buy lights, like how I experienced, what you will see is a lot of specs. There's so many different things written there, like Kelvin, the watts, the volts. And if you're someone like me who didn't really understand any of them, it can be very intimidating. But during my research, those specs don't matter as much when it comes to plants. So all those specs, the Kelvin, the watts, they're basically meant for humans. So how much power it would use, how bright the light looks. But the thing is, for plants, there's a different type of spec that you have to look out for. Plants focus more on the PAR value, which stands for photosynthetic active radiation. Now, during my research, I found out that this is the range area of light that the plants can use for photosynthesis. So it's measured in photosynthetic photon flux density, ppfd. This is measured in micromoles of light per square meter per second. To put it simply, this is the area of light that the plants can actually use for photosynthesis. Now, for average house plants, I've read that it can be in a range from 80 to 350 micromoles of light per square meter per second. When you are looking for lights, ideally there should be a chart that would tell you the PAR value of the lights. Now, sadly, as I was looking through some of our grow light descriptions of the ones that we already have, they don't really have this spec easily visible. Some of them don't even provide it. Now, a lot of people actually won't know about this information to begin with, If you are able to find this information in the description, that would be great. It would be really helpful. But if not, then no worries. We'll share our experience on the grow lights that we do have, on the specs that we did have on our. So another concern people might have is the color of the light. For LED, we would recommend the full spectrum light. Now, full spectrum means that it's the closest resemblance to the light of the sun. Another color would be the red-blue color. You can see it right here. It kind of looks purple. The purple light is actually better for photosynthesis from what I have researched. This has to do with the light energy that they're able to absorb from the colors red and blue. However, most people won't like the look of purple lights in their home. It's definitely not a pretty color for some people. So the daylight color is more commonly used and definitely works well. For this part of the video, I'll be showing you guys the grow lights that we have at home, and I'll talk about each one and our experience with it. First one, we have the 3-head LED grow lights with a clamp. These things can be bent and twisted and put in whatever angle you want. This is the clamp right here. You have to clamp it onto a shelf. So that's the thing. If you don't have any place to clamp it on, this probably won't be the lights for you. Another good thing it has is it has a timer, so you could definitely set it to turn on and turn off whenever you need it to. So for us, we have it on for 12 hours during the day, and then at night it's off for another 12 hours. You can also increase or decrease the brightness, but as you can see, there's only one setting for the color temperature. Now the second one, we have the 4-head LED floor plant light with a stand and a remote control with a timer, and you can also control the brightness and the color temperatures. This one right here, it's hard to put on camera. This one. Okay, so that's how it looks like. There's a remote control for it. You can control it from far away. If you turn it on, that's how it looks like. It's on daylight setting right now. You can also do the brightness. So now it's getting a bit darker. We put it on the highest setting. And then you could also turn off each one separately. Lastly, you can change the color temperature. Now it's a bit more orange and more blue. And this is the mixture of the two. There's also a timer. For the next one, we have the 4-foot T5 LED grow lights, and it's a 6-pack, and these are the purple lights at the back. This is how it looks like. Pretty long. Now, there's different ways to attach this. So you could do double-sided tape, or they also provide strings that you can use to tie them in different places. Last one, we have the Grow Light LED light bulb. uses and most lamp sockets, which we did for ours. And it's definitely the cheapest option as well. So out of these four, only the T5 lights, the purple lights, actually mentioned the PPFD units. They said it was 151.78 at 6 inches. As for the setup, they're about 6 inches, average 6 inches from the plants. Some are closer, some are further. Be very careful about how you place these grow lights on your plants, especially on the very new sprouts or the more thinner, fragile leaves, because they can be easily burnt. Due to these considerations, it's safe to say that you have to be the judge of the distance, knowing the needs of each of your plants. Some plants, like the low light tolerant plants, don't really need that much light. They'll be fine without it, and some of them need a lot more brighter sunlight in order to prosper. So this also includes a lot of trial and error on your part, but yeah, for us about 6 inches was a good distance for the most part. One of the things that you will notice as well is with some of your variegated plants is that when they are away from light for a while, they start to lose the really beautiful variegations that they have, the different colors, like for example white or purple, and then they would just become a plain dark green. However, when we use the grow lights, especially on our calatheas, we noticed the variegations coming back. The true colors of the plants were starting to show once again, which is definitely a big plus. So as far as which lights perform the best out of these four that we have, there really wasn't much of a difference. They all did very well actually. We used each of them for different plants, for different purposes and different locations and distances. And as long as you use them in a way where that specific plant gets enough light, then it should be fine. It's also important that you shouldn't use just one grow light for a huge amount of plants, because inevitably other plants further from the light source won't be able to receive much light. So in conclusion, which grow light should I really buy? So if you want to be technical, then definitely look for the par value of the lights you're planning to purchase, the PPFD units, because those specs are really important if you want to know that all your plants are receiving the light that they need. Also important to get the full spectrum LED lights, full spectrum meaning it is very much similar to the daylight that they would naturally receive from outside. This will resemble the sun the most. If you're still not sure, I would recommend any of the lights that we did purchase based on your budget, of course, and I recommend experimenting and doing some trial and error to find the strategy that works for you and your plants best. Now, with that being said, we are now at the end of this video. Thank you so much for all of you who have watched until the end. If you have any questions by the end of this video, if you have any comments or video recommendations, then please let us know in the comments below. Don't be afraid to comment, and we'll give a reply as soon as possible. We hope that this video was valuable to you guys. With that being said, see you guys in the next video.